Hi everyone! In this video, we are going to talk about how to use the average function in Google Sheets. So we have a table of travel expenses here. We have the travel month, the travel destinations, the travel type, either solo or family, days of travel, travel cost, and cost per day. So let's start with the average function. So we want to calculate the average cost of all the travels. In here, we will put average cost as a title. And in the formula, we will type equal average open blanket, and then we select the cost column. Also add the dollar signs to block the range. Now we copy the format from above. So this is the average cost of all the travels. The average formula actually divides the total value by the number of value. So in this case, if we put 0 in the range, the formula will also calculate the zeros as the number of value and makes it not correct. And for now, we'll leave it here and we'll talk about how to fix it. In the second formula, we will talk about average if. So the average if function in Google Sheets calculates the average of a range based on a single condition. So let's remove the 0 first. And let's say we want to calculate the average cost of all solo travels. So let's type average cost solo and copy the format. And for the formula, we will type equal average if open blanket. And first we choose the criteria range, which is the travel type. And then we put a comma. And this time we are calculating the solo as criterion. We type solo. And lastly, we choose the range to calculate. Also put the dollar signs to block the ranges. And press enter. Now we have the average cost of solo travel. And let's do one more example. And this time we want to calculate the average cost of our trip to Spain. So we type average cost Spain. For the formula, we type average if open blanket, and then we choose the range of travel destination and put a comma. Criterion is Spain. And lastly, we choose the range of cost. Dollar signs to block the ranges. And enter. Now we have the average cost of our trips to Spain. And next we'll talk about average ifs with an S at the end. So the average ifs function calculates the average of a range based on multiple conditions. And now we want to calculate the average cost of solo trips in July. So in here we type average cost solo July. For the formula, we type average ifs open blanket. And this time we choose the range to calculate first. And then we choose the range of the first criteria, which is the travel type. And then we put a comma and we want to calculate the solo trip. And next we choose the range of the second criteria, which is the travel month. And then we'll put a comma. And it is July. Also put the dollar signs to block the ranges. Then press enter. And now we have the average cost of solo travel in July. So let's go back to the average cost at the beginning. In the beginning of this video, we said that the average formula divides the total value by the number of value, and it will count the zeros as the number of value. So how to solve this? And in this case, we'll use the average if formula. Let's type equal average if open blanket. So we put the cost range as criteria range. Next, we put the criterion, which is bigger than 0, and we have to put a quotation mark for the bigger than 0. And lastly, we choose the range to calculate. Also put the dollar signs to block the ranges. And for the average if function here, we can actually simplify the formula when the condition range and the average range are identical. So in this case, it's the range of cost. And we can remove the later part. The formula will be simplified like this. And this is how we use the average if function to calculate the average cost when there are zeros in the range. So this is a tutorial of how to use the average function in Google Sheets. See you in the next one.